Our beautiful intro music to a new show on KHTS, At Home with Charlene. I just love that name. I know the lady, and I know you're going to love our show. What is today? Thursday? Thursday at 2 o'clock. Charlene Gill. How are you, my dear?
I'm good. How are you, Coach?
Yeah, I love the name, At Home with Charlene. So we're going to be talking about people's homes, people's lives, real estate. And I don't know anything about real estate or loans, so I'm excited. I'll be tuning in every single Thursday at 2 o'clock. At Home with Charlene, today we're going to be talking about buying for next year. If you're listening or you're in your car, drive careful, no texting or driving. But if you're thinking about buying next year, it's a great show to listen to. If you're a renter, it's a great show to listen to. If you've got credit cards, maybe they should be listening. What do you think?
I think everyone should be listening.
And what about filing tax returns? Are we going to talk about that today?
We're gonna definitely touch on that because that's a huge priority that I want to make sure everybody understands coming into the new year.
Now, I have to make a disclaimer. You brought a friend of mine. What is he going to do?
I did. I brought Fred Tizartis with Century 21 Troop Real Estate, and he's going to touch on emergency evacuation tips. With all the local fires, we just have some tidbits of information that I think we'll find viable for everybody.
How timely. So even last night, I'm thinking, my wife Ellen looks over at me and she says, are we prepared? And I said, no, we're not. So I'm going to learn a lot today from Fred. How are you, bud?
Good. Doing good, Coach.
One of my favorite people in the whole world.
And
you are a big boss over at the Troop. Is it Century 21
It's
now?
Century 21 Troop, correct.
Okay. One of my favorite companies in the whole world. So let's get into it. So the show is called At Home with Charlene Gill, the star. This is KHTS. You can listen if you're just tuning in for the first time. Go to hometownstation.com. Hometownstation.com. They can listen online. We have one of the best radio apps. Are you aware of this, Charlene Gill?
No, but I'm glad to hear it.
Go to the App Store and download KHTS. You can take us everywhere. Just holding us in your hand, you can take us everywhere. So let's get started. Oh, big shout out to Johnny and Madison.
Yeah, we'll see if they're listening. I told them.
They better be. And they better be taking notes too, right?
That's right.
All right. Where do you want to start?
I really wanted to touch base on all the local fires that we've been experiencing. I think we have some good tidbits to touch on for that. I actually had a coworker of mine give some good information to a fellow office that I have friends at, which is over in Ventura. And this is really good for anybody who lives in a high brush area. What they were suggesting was take your cell phone, open up all your cabinets, open up all your drawers, and take a video of your home. Go around so we can see, all the upgrades that you've done. Do you have, collections of any type in your house? And, because the insurance companies are probably going to downgrade a lot of those precious items you have. But if you have it on video and you have recorded documentation of this, it will make it much easier for the insurance companies, God forbid anything happens to your home.
What a great idea. Fred, do you want to say something on that?
Well, I was going to say, actually, she stole one of my ideas I was going to talk
Fred.
about. But also, not just put it on your phone, but also upload it to the cloud. So this way, if you lose your phone or if you have to reach it from any other location, you can. And I'm going to talk about storing your documents on the cloud also. All these important documents could be gone in a second, but you're going to need them later on, and this is how you can retrieve them.
I am listening with both ears because I need to do this. It's such a great idea, and uploading to the cloud. So when I every day what do? I plug my thing into iTunes. Is that going into the cloud?
Yes, if you plug your Apple into iTunes, it would load it up to the cloud. If you have an off-site storage, like I use Carbonite, that will upload it to the cloud. Google Photos. I'm suggesting you take all your important photos, your birth certificates, your insurance papers, your passports. First, put them in a fireproof safe, Ziploc bag that's waterproof that you can take with you on the road right away, but also upload it to the cloud so if you don't have it, you can access it from any place.
All right. The show is called At Home with Charlene. Charlene Gill runs a little company in town. They're not that little, but they're over near your office, I think, aren't they? Near Century 21?
Yes, they are in our office, correct.
CSMC Mortgage. CSMC Mortgage. Now, you look like you're about 18, but you've been doing this for what, 23 years?
23 years.
So I really need the magic of looking and staying young more than I need the info on real estate or loans, but I'll take both. So tell us a little bit about CSMC Mortgage.
Well, we're a local broker. We have a lot of, basically we all kind of came together. We used to be CFC Mortgage. We branched out to, a few different mortgage companies in between. And we have a group of people who I've known for the past 10, 15 years who came together to put this amazing company back in place. And we're excited to share it. We're excited to do whatever we can for the community. And I've got nothing but great people who support us and run the whole back end system. So couldn't be happier.
How does one try to ask a serious question? This is my only serious question of the day. How does one go about picking somebody like you? How do I do it? I mean, you got a million banks. How do I go about picking somebody if I'm going to borrow money and buy a new home or take money out of my existing home?
That's exactly one of the things that I wanted to touch base on, and it's exposure. I have to get the name out there because you're just another number with a large bank. You don't get the hands-on touch, the hands-on customer service that somebody like myself would provide. So I think it's really important, customer service-wise, to work with somebody that's local, knows the local area. You're not just another number. You're definitely a client. You're somebody that we value, and it's a relationship that we want to prosper and have for a long time.
Now, my buddy Fred is here with Century 21 Troop. You guys know about this mortgage company? Do you guys use them?
Yes, we use this mortgage company, and the reason we use it is because when I have a problem, I have a person to go to. She works with us. You
know about Charlene?
Charlene, of course. I mean, it's really easy when you deal with another company. You're just a number. You call a help desk, you call the service center. You have no idea who you're talking to. Charlene knows the files, and that's why we like to work with her. And also, when we give offers to other agents, if they know who the lender is, we have a better chance of getting our offer
Interesting.
accepted.
So Charlene is so well respected in the community. So if you mention Charlene Gill to another agent, are you saying it helps?
Yes, definitely helps us get our offers accepted.
All right, interesting. Let's get into the show a little bit. So buying for next year, you're talking about buying real estate, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so when do you start thinking about buying real estate for next year?
So what I also wanted to make sure we went over today was, there's probably a lot of people who will be getting bonuses this time of the year, and
Cody might be getting Cody, you need to be buying real estate.
Come on, Cody.
I would love to buy real estate, but I am currently lacking funds, I guess.
Oh,
and I'm in the fundraising period, I guess.
We'll talk about funds later. All right, so go ahead. Buying real estate for next year.
Absolutely. So we want to just keep a few things in mind. Bonuses. There's, like I said, a lot of companies are going to pay their Christmas or end of year bonuses out at this time. And this is a great time to put that bonus money away. You're going to use that for your down payment. You're going to use that towards any of your closing costs you have on the loan. That's a vital source for your first step in purchasing a home.
All right, let me slow you down. Talking to Charlene Gill, the show is called At Home with Charlene. I love the name on KHTS 1220. You can listen on hometownstation.com. So let me get back to this down payment stuff. So can you buy a house? I know you can buy a house with 20% down. Can you buy a house with 5% down?
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely. There's so many programs, and there's so many down payment assistance programs. There's pretty much a loan for everybody. I would say if somebody came across, my desk, I would give them, if they didn't qualify for whatever reason at this point, or they didn't have the down payment, I give everybody a plan. So it might be a 6-month plan, it might be a year plan, but everybody knows exactly what has to be done, what they need to do, in order to put them and their family in a position to purchase.
Cody, are you listening to this? We can put
We have a
you on
plan
a
for you,
plan,
Cody.
I'm listening. I'm excited.
Okay,
I'm ready.
so I'm going to ask some dumb questions.
There's no dumb questions, Coach.
Can you put 0 down?
There's you've got a VA loan. So if you're a veteran or you've ever served for our country, you definitely have 100% financing on VA. You might have some other niche type down payment assistance programs that will allow a minimal to, 0.5% down. So, but yeah, the veterans, that's one thing we always want to find out. Is our client or our past client a veteran? Because if he is or isn't, it makes a big difference. I mean, take advantage of a VA loan. You don't have the monthly mortgage insurance premium, and we definitely want to take care of our veterans.
So, question on the VA loan: Can a veteran? How many times can they use a VA loan?
So that's a good question.
Finally, I asked.
I was gonna bring this up on another show, but we'll just touch it on a little tidbit right now. So for a veteran, they have a release document when they remove from the service, a DD-214 form, and we take that form and we submit it for a certificate of eligibility for the veteran, and that will give us the entitlement on, if the veteran has any previous VA loans in place, or, if this is their first time purchasing, they can have up to 100% financing. It's a great loan. I do it all the time. Close in 30 days. I mean, just like any other loan.
So if mommies and daddies and grandparents are listening and you have a young man or woman getting out of the service, I don't know, Fred, do they know about these VA loans? I mean, is this something that the service discusses?
A lot of people do not know about the VA loans, and also a lot of people don't know about how to get the entitlement and follow through with that.
And the entitlement process is the easy part. All I need is their DD-214 form, the release form, and then we go ahead on our side and order their certificate of eligibility. It's usually an instant process, maybe a day or two at the most, and we'll get a copy of it from the VA. That gives me the go-ahead to move forward, and we move forward with the pre-approval.
So how does somebody find Charlene? I mean, most of our listeners are driving or they're in their cubbies working at work. How do they get a hold of you? You have are you on Facebook?
I'm on Facebook. You can look for me on Facebook at Charlene Gill.
Okay.
I have my personal and business page. You can also find me at cgill@charlenegill.com. Happy to take any emails. I'd love to answer anyone's questions.
Nobody's going to remember the email. We got to figure out how people. Maybe we'll just do a radio show every Thursday at 2:00.
Yeah.
And then people get to know you and like you.
That's right.
Yeah, like Fred and Century 21 Troop. They love you. So, so buying real estate for next year, I love what you just said. We put a plan together. Somebody can call you. They come into your office. What do you charge for this?
Nothing.
I think we should charge something.
I know. But you know
No, I
what?
think we
It's almost like a financial advisor. I take pride in doing that.
Fred, let's charge something.
Well, actually, Coach, it's funny because my son, who's
I love your son.
Yes, he's going to file his first tax return this year. And I said, once you file that tax return, you're going to sit down with Charlene and come up with a plan so when you can buy a condo. Because he's talking about moving out and paying rent. I'm going, hey, let them pay you to rent and you pay the mortgage.
Yeah, great idea. Is Sammy listening?
He should be listening.
Sammy, big shout out to you, buddy. We have listeners everywhere in the country. Sammy's in Atlanta,
Yes.
Georgia. So, so it's free, although I think we ought to maybe charge something. But I love the idea that you take young people, especially renters, all ages rent. But I think if they can get comfortable with you, Charlene, especially every Thursday at 2:00.
Absolutely.
And come in, you have a beautiful office. I know where it is. And sit down and you'll,
I'd love to meet with anyone.
And the thing is, with today's rent prices, for what they're renting, they could almost buy their own home. It's amazing.
It's crazy. Yeah. Is there any benefit? There's no tax benefit to renting, is there, Fred?
Nope.
No.
You're paying someone else's mortgage.
Yeah. Okay, so I like that. I like the idea that you will take your personal time and sit down with somebody. Okay, now here's the big elephant in the room: credit cards.
Yes. I want to touch on credit cards today because with the upcoming holidays, I'm sure everyone's using the credit cards for their Christmas purchases.
You can be sure.
So we also need to make sure everyone's aware of that. A big part of your loan pre-approval process is your credit score and your overall debt consumption versus your income. So what we want to make sure is that we keep those credit cards to a 50-60% of what your
Go
allotted
slow, girl. Go slow. Slow down
balance
here
is.
now. Time out. So credit score we all know about, right?
Yes.
So what's a good credit score today?
I would say 720 and above is optimum credit. You want to try to keep it up above there. That's not to say that there isn't any programs available for anybody that is not in that range, but optimal credit is probably there and above.
Okay, now you lost me there when you were talking about. See, I can't wait till every Thursday at 2:00 because I'm going to learn so much.
We're going to teach you a lot, Coach.
I want to get I've always wanted to get a real estate license. I don't know why.
I told
Come
you,
join Century 21, Coach.
Really?
take your courses and get your license.
The thing is, I don't know if
for
I
fun.
could pass the test.
Yes, you can.
Okay, back to this. What do you call not equity, but what did you call it?
Your credit to debt ratio.
There you go.
Yes.
Thank you. What is that about?
So what I would like for everyone to take into consideration is that when you are using your credit cards, that let's just say you might have a balance of $5,000. So you're going to want to keep that balance between $2,500 or less. You want to, for optimal credit, you want to keep your credit scores as high as you can. You want to keep your debt consumption low. And any charges that you're doing during the Christmas and you're thinking about trying to buy the first of the year, let's make sure we, keep that the debt to a minimum.
So what should be for Cody, because Cody's going to come in and do some planning with you, what should Cody keep his debt ratio at where he's going to really be able to qualify?
Well, you have a few different programs with a few different qualifications. On the conventional loan, you want to keep your back-end debt ratio between a 45 to 49%, your income versus debt. Or for your government FHA, you can keep your back-end debt ratio at about 55%. And I know this is probably a little confusing because not everybody understands this concept. But when you go to sit down to try to get approved for a loan, it all kind of comes together and makes a little bit more sense.
I'm learning. This is going to take me some time.
You're going to learn a lot from this.
And one thing I've also, when I deal with clients who are buying and they go, okay, I'm going to fix my credit, I'm going to close my credit cards, that's not necessarily the best way to improve your credit. Because if you close your credit cards that you've had for a long time, that actually works in the negative of you.
Right. So what that does is let's say you have a credit card and you've had one for 20 years, Coach, and you pay it off. Now you want to keep that open because now it's showing you've had credit history on that account for 20 years. That's probably giving you a good boost on your credit score. So if you do pay off a debt, I suggest you leave that credit card open so that way your history isn't also canceled. Because when it's closed, your history's closed.
So when you say keep it open, does that mean I keep charging on it?
No, that means keep it at a zero balance and just don't use it.
Got you. The show's called. You can tell. I mean, right off the bat, it's At Home with Charlene. I'm at home with Charlene already. I'm so comfortable with you, Charlene. I mean, you're so smart. It's refreshing. When you look at the mortgage industry, just what you said, there's so many different loans. I mean, I know 30-year fixed, right?
Right.
And what adjustable is that? Are they still around?
I mean, you always have your adjustable loans. I think it's just suitable for your particular situation. In this day and age where we have the lowest interest rates and you're looking at the low threes, high or mid to high low fours, you should secure a longer term fixed rate, in my opinion, a 30-year fixed, a 15-year fixed.
Okay, what's a 30-year fixed now if you have good credit like Cody does?
You're probably looking at high threes, low fours.
High threes, low fours. And when you look at an adjustable, what is that? What are those rates?
I mean, you're probably looking at the lower threes, mid threes, because you're looking at a short-term fixed product.
So if you take a new homeowner like Cody, doesn't it make sense to take the adjustable to lower his payment?
Not necessarily. I would say if he's looking at, he's probably going to start with a starter home, and he's probably going to have something that he'll sell in a couple of years or that he'll use as a rental property and, move on to a home of some other choice. So that's not necessarily the perfect loan for him. It might be a longer term loan. He might hold on to that property for a length of time.
Fred, what's a starter home in Santa Clarita?
Fortunately, the starter home prices are around $400,000 right now.
Okay, Cody, I want you to call
taking up a
Carl.
fund.
I'll write the letter for you. Dear Carl, I know this doesn't come as a surprise. You're on your way to Texas where you can get a starter home. Or my son bought a brand new home for like $150,000 in Grants Pass, Oregon.
Oh, geez, I might have to go to California then, I guess.
Well, no, Texas.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Get out to Texas,
Alabama. Sammy's in Atlanta.
The home prices are really low also.
Yeah, so for like $500,000, what do you have, like 5 acres?
You can buy a ranch, correct.
I mean, unbelievable. We got to figure this out, Charlene. The show's called At Home with Charlene. You're listening on KHTS Radio. We're going to take a break. Come on back. There's so much to discuss today. We're going to talk about tax returns. Now, this new tax law. Come on, you guys. This is as confusing as it's ever been, right? But when's the law take effect, Fred?
Well, they actually haven't come to a conclusion yet. There's two versions. There's the House and the Senate. They're trying to reconcile, and we're trying to figure out what's going to happen.
So are we going to be able Fred's with Century 21 Troop, ladies and gentlemen. He's a dear friend of mine. And I mean that sincerely. Are we going to be able to keep our interest write-off?
Both versions have a limit on that.
$10,000?
Well, the mortgage insurance, it's one version's $500,000, one version's $1 million on your loan. I heard there's limits on also your taxes. But the other thing that we're looking at too is right now, if you stay in your house 2 of the last 5 years, you're able to deduct your profits. They're going to change that to 5 of 8 years. So people are going to have to stay in their home longer to be able to sell without a tax.
And the other thing that's got my wife up in arms is you're not going to be able to write off your state income tax. That's what she is just. Are you aware of that?
I haven't seen that one. I'm more dealing with the real estate right now.
Yeah. The show's called At Home with Charlene. Her name is Charlene Gill. So if you're thinking about, I don't know, if you're thinking about financing your home, maybe moving to Texas with Cody, look, help. If you're going to sell your house, why not help the new buyer get a loan, right, Charlene?
Absolutely.
To me, that would be a great asset, right, Fred?
Yeah, definitely.
Help the new buyer, introduce them to Charlene.
Yep.
All right, be right back. The show's called At Home with Charlene on KHTS 1220 AM.
KHTS strives to give the Santa Clarita Valley all the information they need. And when our computers aren't working the way they should, we call Resurgence, your true source for IT. Resurgence provides outstanding customer service while also providing the highest technical ability. They strive to do what's best to improve and protect your business. For more information on Resurgence, call 349-4114 or visit resurgenceit.com.
Presto Pasta. Real Italian. Presto. Fresh, homemade every day. Fresh chopped, never frozen veggies, hand-layered lasagna, homemade croutons, sauces, and dressings, Parmesan grated tableside, 100% whole milk mozzarella. You'll love Presto Pasta's popular sampler combo. Meat lasagna, chicken piccata, fettuccine alfredo, super salad, garlic bread, and a beverage. Presto Pasta Valencia in the River Oak Shopping Center.
Do you like to rock across Africa?
Then the wait is over.
Africa Rocks! Africa's Greatest Hits is now available at the San Diego Zoo! And who could forget 99 red baboons?
Or the African crested porcupine smash hit, I Got Quills to Pay the Bills! Hey, don't get too close!
And the hits keep on coming!
Africa Rocks has all your favorites from 6 different African habitats.
Hungry like a leopard!
Ibex is back!
Harder, better, fossa stronger!
And a new track from Kendrick Lamar!
Now, Larry.
Yes, Chuck?
A collection of this magnitude, I'd fly to Africa!
Well, don't pack your bags, friend. Africa Rocks is only available right here at the San Diego Zoo.
Wow, that really does rock.
No, it Africa Rocks.
Welcome to Africa Rocks. Experience 6 different African habitats, including our first ever aquatic enclosure with African penguins. Only at the San Diego Zoo.
Daily Imprints is the premier one-stop shop for custom embroidery, screen printing, and promotional products in the Santa Clarita Valley. Owners Joe and Dana have provided KHTS with quality embroidered company shirts for over 3 years. If it's new business cards or promotional products you need to enhance your image, Daily Imprints is the choice for you. Located on Lyons Avenue, stop by or call today, 661-678-0508.
Finding the right lawyer can be a challenge, but in Santa Clarita, there's no need to search when there's Hacker Law Group, Santa Clarita's premier litigation firm. Jeffrey Hacker has represented celebrities, financial institutions, accident victims, real estate developers, realtors, contractors, businesses, nonprofit organizations, and other individuals and companies with their legal challenges. Mr. Hacker is one of Santa Clarita's leaders, consistently listed as one of our most influential. When everything is on the line and you need legal counseling, visit hackerlawgroup.com.
KHTS.
Welcome back. That's Charlene on her guitar. She maybe play some more later on in the show. The show's called At Home with Charlene on award-winning KHTS radio right here in Santa Clarita. And both Charlene, I, and Fred want to just reach out to everybody that's been affected in any way about this tragedy, these horrible fires. It's affected everybody in so many ways. I know KHTS radio cares so much, so you can call if you need information. I know next week on our show we're going to talk about where you can go and maybe find some rentals, talk a little bit about what the Red Cross is doing next week. So our hearts go out to you, our prayers go out to you. The show's called At Home with Charlene, and it's just amazing how many people, Charlene and Fred, just go out of their way to help their neighbors. I mean, I'm so pleasantly surprised at how much we care about each other.
I just found out too, we had a couple, associates of ours that had lost a few homes, and that touched it. Well, it's touching on another thing that I wanted to bring up too, was if you're in a high fire brush area, if you are in a purchase transaction or a refinance transaction currently, I want you to look into a couple things. One is get with your lender, your insurance company. There is moratoriums in some areas right now that are not putting insurance policies in place, and I'm pretty sure there's probably actually investors who aren't going to close on purchase and refi transactions currently. So if you think that you're in any of these surrounding areas, just make sure that you reach out, because I think we had the Thomas Fire, the Creek Fire, the Rye Fire, and the Skirball Fire. So if you have any of those properties, purchase, refi in those areas, reach out, make sure that you still have insurance in place, and two, that you have a loan in place, whether it's a purchase or refinance.
I hope as the weeks go along you can bring a insurance agent on and talk about that. I live right next to a canyon, so I am personally concerned right now.
Yes.
Can't seem to get a hold of my insurance agent. I need a new insurance agent, so whoever you bring on might be my new.
I have an insurance agent I'm going to be bringing on. I've got a pretty cool planned out show. I want to bring nothing but awareness, information. I want to provide everybody with feedback and something that they can take away from my show every week.
What's the name of your show?
At Home with Charlene.
On KHTS, award-winning KHTS radio. So you can listen on hometownstation.com. We have the number one website.
I love it.
Go to hometownstation.com, and you're going to give Lori your phone number, and you're going to get a text every night. We have a news brief. Over 37,000 people. We're replacing the newspaper. Do you know that? My wife, we don't get the newspaper anymore. My wife and I go about 5 o'clock every night to the KHTS news brief, and it's just chock full. It's like our hometown paper. It really is.
It's great.
Yeah, so don't leave the station today without doing that.
I'm not leaving.
You too, Fred. Do you get it now, Fred?
I get it.
Yeah. Because I told Sammy, I think, years ago about it. All right, back to our show called At Home with Charlene every Thursday at 2 o'clock, and we're going to have great guests every week. Hopefully, we'll bring the insurance guy on, maybe, lady or
I'm
gentleman, next
thinking
week.
we should bring, next week I was going to touch a little bit on escrow.
And rentals.
Rentals.
Where people can rent.
I want to give them information on where to go, who to get in contact with, because we don't want anybody to be without a home. We want to try to provide as much assistance as we can.
Fred, are you coming in next week?
I'll be here next week, but I also want to let you guys know Century 21 Troop Real Estate has 12 offices in the affected area from Ventura, Santa Paula, and Oxnard. And please call them if you're looking for a rental. They are compiling the list and they're trying to get short-term rentals and long-term rentals for all you guys that are affected right now.
Great. And that's Century 21 Troop, is that the name?
Correct.
12 offices, wow. And maybe if somebody had like 5 bedrooms and they're only using 2, maybe in the short term they would rent out. Do people do that?
We are looking for everything right now.
You know, I've seen a couple people just post on Facebook alone that they've opened up their home for them to put their motorhomes on, or, you know, to help accommodate people, or they have motorhome and they're willing to take on a family, or they have extra rooms or a guest house and they're, you know, willing to help people out until they can kind of get back on their feet again. So
very, very important to tune in next Thursday. We're going to have so much information for you to help you with your struggles, not only with financing or your homes, but if you have family members or relatives or people that you know that need help, especially when it comes to rentals, we're going to have a lot of information. Fred's going to do his homework. So talk to us a little bit about who Charlene Gill is. How did you come about getting into the mortgage? Is it the proper way to say mortgage industry?
Yeah. I pretty much have grown up in the mortgage industry. I started off at a little place called Countrywide Home Loans.
When you were in junior high school?
Yes, when I was in elementary school. Started off, you know, quite young. I started off at Countrywide, worked in the foreclosure trustee side, so I have a vast knowledge on that part of the industry as well. Made my way around just a few other brokerage offices until I stumbled upon my CFFC family, and branched off a little bit from there, but just grew my knowledge and experience, and now have the branch here in Valencia.
Is Jane Robertson with your company?
Jane Robertson
Did you mention my name to Jane?
I did.
What'd she say?
She's a dear friend of mine, and she said, "Oh, great, you're working with Coach Ron. I love Coach Ron too."
She's quite a lady.
She is.
So let's get back to. We ended on credit cards. Is there anything you want to say about credit cards? Don't close your account because you don't want to. That'll affect your credit, right?
Right. We want to keep those open. Just pay them off. Keep them at a zero balance, but leave them open.
We ended the show by okay. So this 49 or 50% debt to equity is really important, isn't it?
Yes. You want to keep your debt as minimal as possible. We, you know, obviously can review that on a one-by-one situation with each client, but just an overall knowledge, you want to keep it to 40-50% of whatever you can borrow against.
Okay, so we're going to take questions, not today, but next week's, but I have a couple of questions. So would it be, and maybe Fred can chime in on this, is it better to take a second and pay off all your credit cards so you only have like a first and a second? Does that help?
You know, it's not always advantageous to do that. You know, if you take out a second, sometimes that's a straight home equity line of credit and it's not a fixed loan. So if we have
but just for short term.
Yeah, I mean, if it's, a purchase money, if you're looking at a purchase money first and second to avoid a mortgage insurance premium or something like that, you know, you might have minimal debt, so you might not need to take out a second. It's just restructuring, you know, lay back on some of the things that you spend and focus on paying some of the credit card debt off. Like I said, each person's different, so I wouldn't normally suggest taking out a second for everyone, but if you have a high amount of loan or debt, then a second could be in your best interest, and also lower your monthly payment because your payment on your second is going to be a lot less than your monthly credit card debt.
Is there one type of debt that is hurtful? I mean, if you have a car loan, a lot of people have car loans, that probably doesn't affect too much. Is there a particular type of loan that maybe you need to stay away from if you're thinking about borrowing money on your home or buying a new home in the next 3 or 4 months?
I mean, your car loans are usually an installment loan. If you take out a loan against your, through the credit union or, something like that, a personal loan, that's usually an installment loan. Your credit cards such as Chase, Capital One, things like that is considered revolving debt. So my suggestion is to keep your revolving debt minimal. Your installment loan is your cars, of course. Everyone usually has a payment or two on that. But keep your revolving debt minimal.
Why do I need a real estate license? I can just tune in on the show every Tuesday or Thursday at 2 o'clock.
Or you get your license and you have fun and work with us.
Yeah, I'd love to work with you and Fred. So let's talk about this tax thing, Fred. I mean, who knows anything? That's the concern. How do you know? Is this going to affect the real estate market in the next 30, 60? If the law goes through, when does it go through and when does it start?
It'll probably start at the beginning of 2018 if it goes through. And whatever is passed right now will affect the real estate industry.
So I called my own accountant. He knew nothing.
Yeah. It is a very convoluted, no one really understands all the impacts yet. CAR, which is the California Association of Realtors, is trying to understand what's going on. They put out broadcasts to call you senator and congressman. But until we have something concrete, we don't know how it's truly going to affect us.
I'm telling you, the show's every Thursday at 2 o'clock, but I'm telling you, if you two study this thing and you guys really, really get good on this stuff, people are going to be tuning in and listening to you, both of you.
Well, that's our goal.
Yeah.
We're going to provide a lot of information so we can have our guests make good decisions about their choices.
At Home with Charlene every Thursday at 2 o'clock on KHTS 1220. So is there one particular property? Is it easier to get a loan on one particular property? Is it easier to get a loan like on a condo than it is a single family?
Well, I mean, you have a few different things you have to look at. On a condo, you have the association, you have the HOA, they're looking at how many of the units are owner occupied versus rentaled. So there's a few different things they look at on a condo depending on how much a buyer's putting down. I wouldn't say one loan is harder than the other. It's just having the vast knowledge in structuring a loan for somebody so that it goes through and with, least resistance.
God, I feel like a dummy. I mean, I'm a businessman, and this is a lot to understand. This real estate financing business.
It is. There's a lot. There's a lot to it, but I think with the years of experience we have, we just learn every transaction we do. We learn a little bit something more than we did.
Your card should be simple. It just should say Charlene and your number.
Right, but they have to know what I can help them with.
CSMC Mortgage. CSMC. What's that CSMC Mortgage stand for?
Customer Service Mortgage Corporation.
Oh my God, Customer Service Mortgage Corporation.
But we'll make it easier for everybody. CSMC Mortgage.
Got it. So, are you interested? If somebody's listening out there, do you need more loan agents?
I would love it. Our branch is out here. I'm our branch manager. I'm looking to train anybody new that would be looking at getting in the business. If you have entrepreneurial skills and you are a go-getter, you could do this business.
I used to be a go-getter.
You can still be a go-getter.
This show every Thursday at 2 o'clock at Home with Charlene and Cody. Cody will be with us.
Yep.
Cody's my wonderful producer. So, Cody, Charlene, you can come to her office and she'll put a plan together for you. So millennials should do that. Maybe Charlene starts a whole new.
Help the millennials.
Yeah, no, you're laughing, but I'm serious.
No,
Well, I know most millennials feel like they just will never own a house and can't ever own a house.
Hey, maybe that'll be a good niche.
Don't get negative, Cody.
I'm not saying myself. I'm just saying in general.
No, but I'm saying the only way you learn this stuff is with professionals like Charlene and Fred. So
it's a great idea, yeah. Because I know a lot of young people out there do just kind of put it aside, like, well, I'll never own a house, but they don't think about it. But
if you had a plan,
exactly,
then you could say, hey, might not be now, but a year or two, maybe it is a plan.
So, I do business coaching. So a client calls me the other night, pretty late at night, surprised. I knew what it was, so I picked it up. And she was talking about she has a. Now you're not a teenager. You're a millennial, right? You're 25.
Yeah, I'm a little past that.
So she says to me, she says, "How do I train?" I won't. Well, his name is Brent. You don't know who he is, but how do I train Brent to save money? So you know what I told her? Why don't you start with 10 cents a week? 10 cents. And she said, "Thank you." And she said, "That's it?" I said, "No. 10 cents this week, then 20 cents next week, and 30 cents and 40 cents. Does that sound like a plan you could do?"
Yeah, sounds like a really good idea.
And then 20 years from now, you call Charlene.
That's right. Or one less coffee, one less lunch, right?
Don't knock
Oh,
the
yeah,
coffee.
honestly,
Don't
It
knock the
adds
coffee.
up. It adds
How
up.
about one less fruitcake or what do you?
Whatever, muffin, whatever you eat. I don't know.
Fred, what do you give away at Christmas at Century 21? What Troop? What do you guys give away? Fruitcakes?
No, we give away actually lemon pound cakes.
Ooh, can I get one?
Sure.
A lemon pound cake?
That's right.
I love a lemon pound cake.
We'll bring you one, but they're 3 pounds. We weighed
That's
it.
right.
Seriously?
Yes.
Each one?
Each one
Yeah.
is 3
Oh,
pounds.
come on, bring me one. I love lemon. Is it a bun cake?
No, it's actually a loaf.
Really?
Yeah.
And who makes it? Somebody local? I
Yes.
hope? Okay, good. All right, back to the show called At Home with Charlene. So the tax thing, you guys are really going to study up on this thing. Because I think for our
Yep.
listeners in the next 3 weeks especially would be so important.
Yes.
All right, so what
We'll
else
keep
do you
everyone
want,
posted
what
on
else do
that.
you want to talk about?
We're going to dabble into a little bit of filing tax returns. I want everyone to kind of prepare when they go to sit down with their CPA come January, February, March. A few things to keep in mind because I don't want a borrower to be shocked when they have the filed tax return and it wasn't exactly what they thought.
Dabble? Okay.
Yeah, I got to come up with
I
some
don't even
good
know what
words
question.
here.
I don't even know what questions to ask. Maybe Fred will help me out here. So, do you still have to keep all your receipts? Do you still have to keep everything as a business person or a homeowner, or is there a difference?
You should keep everything at this point, in case you are ever audited. And Charlene's going to talk about this. It's a conundrum because when you're filing your taxes, you want to get as much money back as you can. But the problem is when you want to buy a house, you have to show that you're making money.
All right, you just confused me. Got to go to break so I can catch my breath. The show is called At Home with Charlene. When we come back, Charlene's going to discuss something with you that maybe is too sensitive for your ears, but we're going to take a try at it anyway. So if you're driving, no texting and driving. Continue to listen to KHTS award-winning radio. And don't forget, you can listen to us on hometownstation.com, and Charlene's going to download the app right when the show's over.
Yep.
Just go to the App Store, go to KHTS 1220. We'll be right back.
Sweet, salty, tastiest, bacon and pancakiest. Big yawns are okay, yummy syrups, yes way. Butter pecan, blueberry, old-fashioned strawberry. Never empty coffee pot, Mom says it hits the spot. Almonds are the fluffiest, Dad tucks the scruffiest. Scrambled eggy, pepper shaky, orange juicy, wide awake. Stuffed French toastiest, waffles with the mustiest. Buttermilky, smooth and silky, tastes great, love on a plate.
IHOP, everything you love about breakfast.
With Facey Medical Group, good health is within your reach. Our doctors provide Santa Clarita's finest primary and specialist care at 4 convenient Santa Clarita locations. If you're looking for connected, convenient, personal care, there's no better place. We accept most health insurance, including plans offered through Covered California. Call 1-844-MY-FACEY for more information or to schedule an appointment. You've been assigned to plan your office party. Time to bring in the experts. AV Party Rentals is your go-to place for the most innovative holiday party ideas. AV's been planning Santa Clarita events from giant galas to intimate gatherings for longer than, well, since Rudolph was a young fawn. AV will turn your office party into a winter wonderland. See the latest holiday displays at Santa Clarita's favorite wedding, party, and holiday event rental store, AV Party Rentals on New Hall Avenue and at avpartyrental.com.
Come join me, Arif Halby, for Total Financial Solutions Safer Money Hour. Every Tuesday at noon, we uncover ways to help you manage your money, get out of debt, and prepare for your retirement. That's every Tuesday at noon on Total Financial Solutions Safer Money Hour. Are you not sure if you can retire yet? Listen to us and learn about tips for savings, retirement strategies, and so much more. That's every Tuesday at noon on Total Financial Solutions Safer Money Hour on your hometown station. KHTS.
Are you dreaming of a white Christmas or wishing for a snowy day? The Church on the Way Santa Clarita is gearing up for a winter wonderland. We're packing our parking lot with over 20 tons of snow, complete with downhill sledding and a play area for the little ones. We've also got food trucks, inflatables, and free photos with Santa. Come out and join us on Sunday, December 17th at 6 p.m. For more information about the Church on the Way Santa Clarita and all that's happening in December, visit tcotwsc.org.
Charlene's you're gonna have to play more with I love your guitar. The show is called At Home with Charlene every Thursday at 2 o'clock. Now this is the Charlene Mortgage Minute brought to you by Men Cryotherapy. If you've got an ache or pain, go over to Men Cryotherapy over there on New Hall Ranch Road. I've gone there many, many times, and it's amazing what they can do with your aches and pains. So we're starting off with the Mortgage Minute. It could be Charlene's Mortgage Vault, Charlene's Drawer.
We're going to have to come up with something creative for this.
Can you ask Johnny and Madison
Yeah.
today? Huh?
I got like at home. I wanted everyone to feel at home.
Oh, I'm amazed at how much I've learned just in the last hour, and I can't wait till next week. All right, give us what you have. What do you have, girl?
You know, I really wanted to touch on when you are preparing to file your tax returns for the upcoming year. So what I see a lot is I will have a client come in, we'll look at some paperwork, and I will copy a tax return, and I'll start flipping through the return, and they will tell me I have my own business, we make great money, I don't think the income is going to be an issue when we go to qualify. So I'm paging through the tax return, and I see that they do make a substantial amount of money, but the fact is that a lot of that money is written off with their write-offs. And what I see happen a lot is I'll get the tax return, and we'll have somebody that makes a significant amount of money, but they also have a significant amount of write-offs. So what that does is maybe I've got a $250,000 income earner. They've written off $200,000 of expenses and, employee payout, whatnot, and their bottom line is $50,000. So that takes my income to a $50,000 qualifying income, and I'm not going to be able to do much with a $50,000 documented income. So what I really want to stress when you're receiving your W-2s, your 1099s, your tax paperwork for the new year is when you sit down with your CPA, because this isn't your profession, is to ask these questions. If you're looking to purchase a home and if you're looking to refinance, I want to make sure you understand with your CPA the benefits of writing off and the benefits of showing income, because we want to show the income if you're thinking about purchasing or refinancing, because we need that income to help make your loan work. So when your CPA is doing your paperwork, 9 times out of 10, they don't know you're planning to purchase. They don't know you're planning to refinance. And if you let them know this is a plan of mine, I do need to make sure that I'm showing enough documented income. I also want to take advantage of my write-off capability as a business owner, but I also, need to show that particular amount of income too. So really just have a great conversation with your CPA. Make sure they understand what you're doing. Make sure that everybody's on the same page so you don't put yourself in a predicament, because that's one main thing that I see happen a lot to clients, and it kind of ruins their dream or their plan they had for the year, and I want to make sure that doesn't happen to anybody else and everyone's prepared. So you gonna say something,
as
Coach?
the weeks go along, we need to talk about that. I in a million years, I would have never thought about that as a great recommendation to getting the type of loan that you want to get. So we'll need to dive a little bit deeper. I want to thank a company called Century 21 Troop Real Estate. They've got 12 offices in our listening area here in Santa Clarita, Ventura County. They have and are researching opportunities for people who have been affected by the fire, need places to live, need places to rent. You can call any of the Century 21 offices, but think about calling Fred right here in Santa Clarita. I give out phone numbers, but people are driving. Just this Century 21 troop, they're easy to find, right?
Yes, it is.
And just ask for Fred.
Just ask for Fred, and you'll get right to me.
Fastest hour in radio, right here at Home with Charlene.
It went too fast, Coach.
It's the most amazing thing. But you know what? A lot of great information today, Charlene.
Good.
No BS.
I hope I'm helping everybody out with that.
No, you really did. I learned so much. Can I get my license real soon?
Well,
you need
like
agents
I said,
too, right?
We do. But our goal for this show is to create the information, the awareness, and hopefully we are able to, help everybody in week after week.
One of these days, maybe in the next coming weeks, let's talk about also you need agents, talk about the real estate career, and can a mortgage industry be a career for somebody? So think about that for next week too.
Okay.
Can this be a career opportunity?
We got a great week planned for next week, so make sure you guys tune in.
Because corporate people, we have a lot of them are getting aged out. Even at 50, corporations don't want you, so you still have 30 years left at least to be productive, right?
Yeah, aren't they bumping up Social Security? And pretty much we're not going to have it later.
Don't say that.
We need to work until 75, 80 now.
Cody, I didn't want Cody to hear that. The show is called At Home with Charlene on KHTS award-winning radio. See you next week, 2:00.
Thanks
and
for listening.
I'll see you Tuesday at 1:00. Bye.